So today I thought I would leave my camp for a while and drive down to the actual Soap Creek campground. That's a pay campground. It doesn't have any hookups. It may not even have water. Last time I was here, if you're dispersed camping, you're not even allowed to use the dumpsters there. There is a, I think, vault toilet in the campground and something like 18 spots. It's a Sunday, so it's a weekend, and should be interesting to see what kind of crowd is down there. There's a really nice campground down to the right of me here. Maybe on the way back I can drive into some of these dispersed campgrounds and let you have a look at them. There's also dispersed campgrounds down beyond where Soap Creek campground is. Right in front of me you'll see another dirt road split off to the left. And that's a very rough dirt road. I wouldn't be able to pull my trailer up most of it. There's a possibility I could get my trailer into the very first possible campground up there. But if I remember right, there's a tricky steep hill right before that campground. There's some pretty dramatic rock formations all up and down this valley, and straight in front of us is what you'll see from the Soap Creek campground. First we'll take a little tour of the official campground, the pay campground, and then I'll probably come back out to this intersection here and go down to the Soap Creek corral, and then see some of the dispersed camping that's in that area. So here we are. First campground is on the left there. We'll do the one-way loop around this thing. They're nice campgrounds. The creek is down this side of it. They'll have fire pits and tables and very nice pine trees. So far you can see there's nobody here. This is on a Sunday in the middle of July. So this is still a fairly well-kept secret, or people don't want to drive the 9 miles of washboard road to get up into this. But so far still completely empty. I do see tickets on the posts for the campground, but maybe those are from people who've left already. Right here at the end of the campground on the very northern edge, there's a trail, a walking trail, and that'll go down and follow the creek. I do see a hammock up there in the trees. So maybe there's at least one camper in here. We'll park here for a little while and I'll get a camera out. and maybe I'll get some closer shots of these campgrounds and maybe how you can get into the creek. I'll just take this shade here for a little bit. So we'll just get out and have a look around. Here's the one-way entrance into the loop. 14-day stay limit. Here are the rates. So if you want to pause that and take a closer look at them. Hopefully the reflection's not too bad here. So you can see the one-way sign there. And we'll go down this part way into the loop. See the beautiful rocks in the end of this canyon that you get to see from your campground. There's one of the bathrooms. This is campground number 2. I think all of these have a nice shade around them. Really nice trees. I can hear the creek over here. So we'll see how close even campground number 2 here is to this thing. There it is. Doesn't look particularly that high. I walked down the creek a little ways and I'm looking to see if this will lead me up to the 3rd campground. I imagine every campground has beaten its own trail into the creek. Yep, and here it is. This one at least allows you to park your vehicle in the shade if you want to. Keep your car cool at the same time. Just a reminder that you need to be bear safe whenever you're in the backcountry of the mountains. Here's campground number 4, I believe. Could be higher because they're on both sides of the road. They're all really nice campgrounds. And I'd say a comfortable distance apart. This one's got a kind of a pull through. That one's number 8. Here's another pull-through style campground. I think all of these campgrounds are also first come, first serve. You can't make reservations for this campground. But as you can see, it wouldn't be very difficult to get a campground when you drive in. Just really beautiful campgrounds, every one of them. Here's one that's more right on the creek or with a direct view of the creek. And a nice view of these rocks as well. We're about halfway through the campground now. And at this end, you can also tent camp. So there's a parking area right up here, and it's right next to the trail. And there's multiple campgrounds along this trail up here going deeper into the forest and along the creek. There's the parking area for the tent camping. I guess we'll walk a little ways into some of these tent camp spots. These are super nice. Look at the size of these pine trees right here. And there's a campground right up in there. Plenty of shade if you want it. How nice is this? All these campgrounds in this all these campgrounds, and there's only one person here. We'll just back door over here to another tent campsite. I can still hear the creek down to my right. So far I count at least 5 campgrounds here. And I think this goes on for a ways. I've walked this trail in the past, and I think it goes on for a while, maybe a half a mile. And eventually you'll run into some of the dispersed camping along the creek up there with this trail. And that's where we'll be going next. Counting the tent sites, there's over 25 campgrounds here. And there's one person camping here. I'm a little surprised. It is Sunday. I would think I'd see people here until late in the day at least. It's only about noon, I think. Checkout time's 1. Here's the dumpsters. Let's move along. We'll get back in the car and go down to the dispersed camping here by the corral. So here's where I came in. There's a sign for the Soap Creek Horse Corral. But my memory's a little vague on how to get to the back end of these. There's 2 roads. There's a Y I just went past, and if I remember right, this is just the easier, more level way of getting back here. And we'll take the other way out. But when I was actually pulling my trailer down here, I remember wanting to use this road more. But actually, this is the final small loop around the very end of this dispersed camping. Pretty much the road ends completely down here. And as we come out of this really rocky stretch here of road, on my left there's a very nice campground. And then the campground I love the most is right next to it. There is nobody here. I can hardly believe it. In the past, I've always dealt with some crowds of people down here. But I'll just drive in here, show you this campground. This is where I'd put my trailer, like right back here nestled in the trees. I'll get out here too with the camera and walk around this area. I want to take a look at the creek, and there's a nice little trail at the very end of this road, and really nice campground. I think it's this one right here. This is the very last one. And I've seen RVs and travel trailers in these spots down here. Really easy big pull around to this campground. We'll just drive around the whole loop in here. So if you were in this campground right here, if people were wanting to access this trail right here on the right and then the creek there, they're gonna, if they're driving through here, they're gonna drive pretty much 10 feet from your camp and your campfire right here on the left. We'll just park in the trees here again and go for a little walk up the creek here a little bit. This is the end of the road for the dispersed camping down here. We'll get a better look at the creek up here as we do this little trail over here. There's also some nice tent camping up here. Smells really good here, like a pine forest does. Soap Creek just continues to run all along this. Because even at this point, it's a fairly narrow canyon. Here's one of those free tent camping spots. Let's take this way down. You can see how it's starting to wall in here. Some really good, there's a deep fishing hole, or even a swimming hole if you ask me. You could jump in there. Looks probably about 6 feet deep in that shaded area there. You can see this, if you want to continue up this canyon, you have to cross the creek here because it's way too steep over there on the right to follow the bank. So we'll just head back to the end of the dispersed camping up there. There's my car. We'll walk this end loop of campgrounds here. This is just coming out of the campground that I'm parked in. And this middle ground you see here is flanked by a road that goes all the way around it, like a loop at the end of this road. So in here, there's all kinds of camping too. I've seen as many as 7 RVs and travel trailers all parked in this center area. That was a family reunion though. A bunch of people from Kansas came down for a week and kind of took over the end of this road here. That's when I found the campground I'm in, because there were so many kids and so many dogs running loose. I kind of had to bail on this sweet campground I have right here in front of us. In those days, I did not have solar on the top of my cargo trailer yet. So I guess it wasn't as important for me to have my cargo trailer, at least in the sun part of the day. The creek's right over here. There is an easy way in here. Unless it's really overgrown since I was here last. Here it is. So if you had that campground back there in the trees, this stretch of the creek is all yours. Kind of your private little section of the creek. It is a lot more overgrown than when I was here last time. The bank was a lot more exposed and easy to walk up and down. Lots of pretty flowers still. I don't know what this is, but it's very beautiful. And these little daisy looking flowers are everywhere. So we'll go back to my car, jump in, and we'll actually drive by the horse corral. And there's another way out over there. There may be more than one, kind of a network of little roads that weave in and out of each other. I guess let's see where this one goes. I remember it was something I didn't want to pull my trailer through because there was a lot of steep up and down. This could be it right here. But I think this is the one that goes by the corral. So on the left is the horse corral. I don't see any horses there right now, but I do see a truck over there. And I'll do a little loop here so you can see the actual corral. I've just seen people come in with horses in a trailer and put them in this corral here. and stay for a week or two or a month even, I think. There's 2 campgrounds right here in this area. That you might have to have special permission to use, because being able to use the corral and have your horses there and camp there. Another little campground on the left here. That one's actually got a metal fire pit. The road continues left here, and I came in from the right here, this same road, and we'll be heading back, I think, north. Get turned around on all these loops in this canyon. I think those rocks directly ahead of us are the ones above the Soap Creek campground. And that would be taking the right, which I came into this not long ago on to go up this road. Another thing we'll check out is a more serious dirt road that's could be mostly for 4-wheel drive. I drove it with my Jeep. I can't remember how much I had to use 4-wheel drive to go in there, but I followed it to the end of the road, and there's all kinds of beautiful camping up that road too. Here it is on the right. As you can see, the sign, narrow, rough road. You can see you gain some elevation coming up this road though, and the views get more dramatic. How about that? Now we get a look up the canyon of Soap Creek for a long distance. There's a campground over here to my left. I could definitely do something like that. It's very exposed. There's no trees near that one. I feel like I have the whole place to myself, aside from that one camper back in the official campground. At the very top of this, I remember seeing a truck camper here. So if you have 4-wheel drive and something like a truck camper, this is all open to you. I'll show you this campground. No one's in it right now, just like everything else. But this has an awesome view. Right there. We'll go back out to the main road here and continue up it. Here's one of those little roads. You may not be able to make it out yet, but there's a 2-track that breaks away from this main dirt road. And it'll wind on down there to the creek. Another 2-track leading down to the creek eventually over here. Let's go down this one for a little ways. Can't really see my route down this one. The hood's covering the road. Well, here's a campground down at the end of this one. See a fire pit right there. And a nice stalk of firewood on that one. See if we can make this loop here, this tight little loop with the turning radius of the Armada. Well, I think this is as far as I'm going to go today. I think this thing runs for a few more miles. You get the idea. We'll head back down to Soap Creek Road. But I think I'll sign off here pretty soon, because you've seen about a mile of this road. And I think you got a good idea of what you can expect if you come down this road. What kind of camping you're looking for and what kind of scenery. And it is fantastic. I don't know, maybe I did bring the drone along. Maybe I'll fly it down this canyon here for a little bit. Back out to Soap Creek Road, heading back towards my camp. Well, I hope that was helpful today to show you a little bit of Soap Creek and the surrounding roads and some of the dispersed camping and the pay campground. I think it's all exceptionally beautiful. It must be that it's a bit out of the way and 9 miles up a dirt road. I'll show you one of these campgrounds. This is really a beautiful campground with a really nice overlook of the canyon, but still up high. I think it's a little exposed to the sun. There are a couple pine trees on your way into the campground, but there's not much for shade once you get up into the campground proper here. But I've seen travel trailers down here. This is easy off the 2-lane, or this is an easy off the dirt road access with incredibly beautiful views. As you'll see as I make the circle around the loop of this campfire. Kind of cloudy right now, so all those beautiful rocks aren't quite showing up as well, and it's still a bit hazy from the Black Canyon forest fire, which is about 30 miles away. Then I'll show you a campground that is the complete opposite of this one. It is buried in the trees. I guess there's only about 5 or 6 dispersed camping grounds outside of the campground proper, the pay campground, and on Soap Creek Road. But once you get down there past the Soap Creek pay campground, then there's all of those campgrounds I showed you on the end of that loop. Oh, I guess I get some sun right in the middle of the day. It's like 1:30 now. But this is a pretty sweet campground too. No views. It's back in a little side canyon of its own. Oh my God, you see all the firewood stacked up over here. Look at that. Looks like aspen. Good hammock trees. Well, back to home sweet home.